This is Lizzie from Lizzie's Rose Gems. Welcome back to my channel. I'm starting my new section for my May painting from Diamond Art Club. I started doing the Wip&Chat. I started coughing, so I kind of deleted it. So I was going to start this off with you guys. Very first start, I was going to put the timer on, but I forgot to put the timer on. But I've only laid that many drills, so do you think it still counts if I put the timer on now? Oh, I'm working on this painting. May, Don't Give Me No Sass by Diamond Art Club from Richard Lorenzo. Yeah, so we're just gonna start over. I'm using my pen from, I'm drawing a blank, Captured by Radiance. It's called Blood Money. I'm using my Firefly trait. I'm doing 310. I started with 310 because, you know, I don't know if I'm the only one that loves to start with 310 or if other people like to start with 310. I always like to start with 310. Don't ask me why, I just do. So, yeah. Been fairly busy. Luna did not want to go to the babysitters this morning. She doesn't like it or something. And then my daughter said, oh, well, you can't go to dance after. And then I said, oh, you're going to dance tonight? I want to see you dance. So then she thought she was going to dance right now. When she found out she was going back to the babysitters, she was not happy. But yeah, Sarah put her in a mommy and me dance class because she thought that she wouldn't be okay to do just regular dance, but she's like really loving it and listening. And Sarah's like, oh, maybe I could have put her into the regular dance, but she'll do that again in the next year. Put her in regular dance. This is just like, you know, an introduction kind of, let's learn how to dance kind of thing. Dance is very big in our little town, and a lot of kids go to dance. I don't know if that's like that everywhere, but it seems to be a very big part of the community. So yeah, she, I think, is going to be in dance all the time because she's really loving it. And you know, Alyssa was soccer. I think Luna is going to be dance, and that's okay. We don't need, you know, we thought maybe with their Portuguese blood they would be good at soccer, but Alyssa had a good kick though. She really had a good kick. She was more afraid of the ball though, I found, than anything, but she really had a really strong kick. So that is that. We went to London yesterday, Monday. This is Tuesday. Clem's working overtime today. He's like, Christmas is coming. Oh, why is everybody talking about Christmas? Like, I don't even want to think about Christmas right now. And he's like, Christmas is coming and I need to work some overtime to make some money. So he's working overtime today and Friday. Friday's working a 12-hour. Today he's only working an 8-hour shift. And not on the forklift. He's working in mixing. Mixing is where, you know, when you buy those vegetables that are all mixed together. Yeah, he's working there where they mix all the vegetables together and make you have a variety, like, you know, Italian blend or PI blend or any kind of blend. That is what he's doing today. He used to work in that department before, so he knows what he's doing. And he said the 2 mixers were there, so he's just gonna stay and help them for the day. See, there goes the cough again. And there goes no timer again. See, I'm no good at this timer thing. I'm just gonna throw it away because I can't do it. I've tried and it doesn't work for me. What the heck, Liz? Use your brain. Okay, this is Liz getting mad at herself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I whipped that across the room, but it was getting on my nerves. It was getting on my nerves. Ugh. I can hear. I rattled up the dog now. Rattle, 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 rock and roll. Rattle, rock and roll. Yeah, I pissed off the dog. Oh, now he's... He probably wants to go out again, but it's raining. It's raining, Sadie. And I don't want wet dog. You were just out there. So if you didn't do your business, it's your own damn problem. Now I'm arguing with the dog. Pretty soon I'll be arguing with the cat. I fed them both. I fed and watered them. They're both fine. I sound like maybe, but I can't seem to learn how to turn on a damn timer. Like, what the hell? So, struggles of living in this town. The internet. I'm telling you, I hate my internet. Okay? And it's not the provider. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I have shitty ass internet. They're putting in fiber optic wires, but I think I have to wait for the whole town to be complete before they'll offer it. And my street's already done, but not all of Strathroy is done yet. I see them working on certain parts all around town. And I gotta wait. But my internet, like Sunday after work, I had that live, and I'm like, the internet is acting weird. Because when I stream something, it usually won't buffer at all. But it was buffering, and I'm thinking, well, what the heck? Is it because I was on CBC Gem? Because I don't usually watch CBC Gem, but I did a thing where I had all my streaming stuff coming out of my account, but I wasn't keeping track of what days were coming out for what, and then it was really confusing me in my bank account. So I got mad and I canceled the card that everything was coming out of. So now when everything went to go renew, it couldn't renew because that card is gone, and I have a new one, but I haven't set it up yet because I want to try to make it where I'm not paying around when stuff comes out of my account, like my car insurance, my house insurance, stuff like that are important, and I don't want them to come around that time and I don't have enough to cover both of them. Because, you know, I'm not rich. I don't have thousands of dollars in my bank account. I wish I flippin' did, but I don't. And you know, when things come out and I'm not expecting it, and then I go to spend money and it's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have spent that money, you know? So I had to take control of it and cut out half of the streaming services that I have. I had way too many. And then I had the only one that I've rehooked up and it shouldn't affect my house insurance, because my house insurance comes out on the 28th. But anyways, I had to reinstall my premium YouTube because I couldn't handle the commercials. Like, I've been going so long without having commercials on YouTube. I'm like, and then the commercials came on. I'm like, hell no, I ain't doing this. So I rehooked that one back up. So I'm only keeping that one. And I'm going to keep my Prime and Netflix, and that's it. Disney I have, but my daughter paid for a whole year of it. So I have Disney at home. So those are the only ones. I'm not getting Crave anymore. I'm not getting Discovery, none of that, because with my TV provider, I can get Discovery on other things. So I'm not, no, I pay way too much for entertainment and I need to cut it down. Like, and I'll still cover, like, I haven't renewed it yet, but the YouTubers that I was giving money to, I'll still cover that. But I haven't hooked that up yet either to come out. So, what else? You know, just living life. So I had to get control over my streaming because I was paying way too much for all this, that, and the other, and I couldn't figure out what was coming out or what it was. Like, why am I paying this? Oh yeah, and I gotta rehook up my Apple Music, because, you know, my whole family enjoys Apple Music. That's another one that I'm going to pay for. But, you know, already there, that's a lot of stuff already that I'm going to be paying for. And I have to cut it down because there's stuff coming out like, what the heck is this charge for? Like, I couldn't even figure out what I was buying anymore. And I'm like, and I said to Alyssa, like, Discovery is gone. Like, don't even think about it in college. It's not coming back. And, like, right now she's watching Criminal Minds on Disney. So she says she's happy. She don't care right now because I told her the other streaming services are not working at the moment. And I'll probably get them up by the beginning of next month. I just want to make sure that all my payments are coming out at different times and they're not overlapping each other. Because, like, when you have too many things coming out on one day, you're like, how much do I need in that account? It just gets too much. So I'm not very good at money, as you guys can tell. I'm not good at organizing things. I try to do that budget, like the journal thing, to keep me organized, but it doesn't always work out that way. There's not very much of this one. I'm kind of worried about some of these colors. They didn't have very much in the bag, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, am I gonna run out of drills? I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I always have that fear with Diamond Art Club. I don't know why, but I always feel like I'm gonna run out. Sometimes I have. The last Richard Lorenzo that I did run out of colors. So yeah, this makes me a little bit nervous. But especially with the fiasco I just had with the other painting. Ugh, we don't even want to talk about that. The drills haven't even been dispatched. So yeah, that's the thing. That's why I started this one, because I'm not really feeling my Jills and Chills painting. I know I'll get back to it, but right now I'm just not feeling it. I want to do a couple rows of this one and then I'll go back, because I just ain't feeling it. I just ain't feeling it. So what color should I do next? The star, maybe? Well, there's the arrow down, and that's right by this one, so maybe I'll do the arrow down. The arrow down. What else? I can't even remember if I told you about my trip to London, because I've been so all over the place. But yesterday we went to London. We went and got gas, and then we went to London, and Clem went and got a haircut. And we had, I know, Taco Bell, because they had buy one taco, get the other one free. So we had that for lunch. It was already late. Like, by the time we left, I'm like, holy, it's so late already. I thought it was still morning, because I was videotaping all those videotapes, and then I thought, you know, it was still early morning. And I looked at the clock in the car, and it said it was 2:30. I'm like, what the hell? The whole day went by so fast. Like, my whole day off just flew by. And I didn't stay up late because the internet was acting like a poof. So I ended up going to bed early because I had nothing to watch while I diamond painted, and I can't diamond paint in silence like I am right now. But it's really hard. But I'm talking to myself, and it's really hard, but I do it because I do it for you guys. Aw, aren't I special? So this is a portrait of Susan. She's gonna kill me, honestly. Yeah, because she's sassy. Yeah, this painting's about Susan because she's sassy. She's a sassy little girl. She's a sassy lot. So that is what this painting is all about. Oh no, Marlo just came in. Marlo, really? He knows how to open the barn door. He drives me nuts. You drive me nuts, Marlo. You just open the door. Ugh! Can't even keep the animals out of my craft room. Just open the door. Just like that. He knows how to open the majority of the doors in this house. It's like crazy. I don't understand this cat. He's a crazy cat. Marlo, are you a crazy cat? Oh, he's licking. It sounds horrible because he's got the comb on his head. Because he keeps on scratching that wound on the back of his ear. And it will never heal, because a few times I woke up and the comb was on the ground. I'm like, Marlo! Like, let it heal! Yeah. This is my life. My struggles with my animals. I don't have little kids to yell and talk about, so I'm just gonna yell and talk about my darn animals. I love you, Marlo. You don't care. He's too busy doing whatever the heck he's doing. Sounds horrible. Marlo, stop. What are you doing? Ugh. Go do that. He's licking himself. Go do that somewhere else. Jeez, you're like violating me over here. Well, now the bird wants to talk. Oh my gosh. I live in a zoo. You know that commercial? Calgon, take me away. I need to do a Calgon. Take me away right now. Okay, Marlo. Sorry, I'm back. I kicked Marlo out. He can go lick his balls somewhere else. Jeez, Louise. I tell ya. Like, ugh. It's annoying. Go pleasure yourself somewhere else. I'm sure that's not what he's doing. He's just cleaning himself. Ugh. Now the bird wants to talk. Oh, you can still hear him from in here. The silence is not real here. There is no silence. So, I went, oh yeah, and then when we were in London, okay, now I'm going back to the story again. God, you guys must be thinking I am one crazy chick. Anyway, so he went, got a haircut, and then we went to go see his mom. We haven't been able to go see her because there was, you know, that thing that happened a couple of years ago, you know, that we're all like, about. Well, yeah, there was an outbreak, and she had it, so she was in quarantine, so we weren't allowed to go see her. And then when we went there, I'm like, are you sure I can go in? Because sometimes only like the care provider can go in, and that is obviously Clem, because Clem's her son. And I'm like, when I went to go sign in, it said right there on the tablet that only one guest per whatever. So I'm like, okay, I can't go. I'm just gonna go to the washroom and then go back to the car. Then when I was sitting in the car, he came out and told me and waved me to come in. And I'm like, he's like, oh, she came down, because he's like, oh, she probably won't want to come down to the main floor because I hate her floor. Honestly, it's sad. I can't be on that floor. Like, I don't like going up there, and Clem knows it. And so I usually stay down, and then he brings her down because it is very heartbreaking. I don't like it. I don't like the facility she's in. I keep on telling Clem that, but he won't listen because it's like the cheapest that she can afford. But I don't like it. Like, I think she should, he says that she's too old now to move her. But I honestly think she should come to Strathmere Lodge. I don't like this London facility at all. I hate it. I don't like it. And see, now the cat's trying to come in, but haha, I locked you out. You can try all you want, Marlo, but you ain't coming in. Yeah, I don't like where she is. So, and then she was like wearing like a hospital gown. And I'm like, she okay? Like, and I'm like, why are you in the hospital gown? And she's like, oh, I just had a bath. And instead of them dressing me again, they just put on me ready to go to bed. And I'm like, oh. So, and then she's like all concerned about, oh, you gotta make sure I'm up there for supper. And then she made us, we didn't get her a coffee or donuts this time, because that's what we don't get her a donut, but we get her Timbits. Like, we get her like 4 Timbits. She's not allowed to have sweets. But we get her like a little small coffee because she hates the coffee there. She says it tastes like mud. So we usually get her that and 4 Timbits. And that satisfies her. Because she can't use her hands to eat, so you gotta feed her. And we didn't stop this time, and the Tim Hortons inside the facility was closed. It's always flipping closed. I don't understand that, Tim Hortons. But anyway, she's like, well, we'll go to the gift shop and get you a snack at the gift shop. So we got her some chips, and she hasn't had chips in forever. So she liked that. She had a little bit of chips. Not too many, because we're scared she's going to choke and then we get in trouble. Because we gave her, because she's on a blended diet. So, like, we don't want to get in trouble for feeding her something that we're not. Because Clem got in trouble once for feeding her something and it was too big of a chunk. And I tell him, you gotta cut it smaller for her. But anyway, he got in trouble for something he gave her. And so now I tell him, like, slow down, don't give her too many at a time. You know, let her chew it. We tell her chew it good, because we don't want to get in trouble for feeding you stuff you're not supposed to have. But you know, it's just a treat once in a while. She doesn't get very much. And we only go see her like once a week. Sometimes not even. Like during COVID, that we weren't around, so she was miserable because, you know, she was stuck in her room. She said she didn't even have the radio on or nothing, just silence. And I'm like, well, that's must be torture. She doesn't want TV, because I offered to get her TV for Christmas, like, and pay for it, but she says no. But I really think she would enjoy it, and she wouldn't have to, you know, endure. Like, I see this other old lady, she sits in her room and she watches her TV. Like, why can't, like, if we got her TV, why couldn't she do that instead of, I don't know, that's just me, but whatever. I think she would enjoy it. But who am I? I haven't seen her roommate in a severe long time, so I don't know what happened to her roommate. I haven't seen her in a long, long time. I don't know if she's at the hospital or what, but it's like they haven't moved her out, so she's got to be somewhere. Or maybe she's there and I just don't notice it. I don't think so, but her roommate doesn't talk, so that doesn't help her out any at all, because her roommate doesn't even talk anymore. And you know, and that's kind of sad. Like, I don't know if I'd want to live like that, but you know, I don't see her husband. Like Clem said that her husband used to come, but the many times that I've been there, I've never seen anybody come see that lady. So I don't know if her husband died or what, because nobody's come around for her, which is sad, but true. And that's not fun. At least Clem's mom's got Clem coming to see her every week faithfully. And he's the only one out of all the kids that do. Well, granted, one of his brothers lives far away, so he can't. And his sister doesn't go as often as you would like. I'm not sure how often she goes, but I don't think it's very often. Maybe once a month. I don't even know. Oh, so Sarah did put her clothes in the dryer and it just beeped. I gotta do laundry today. That's one chore. I gotta do, because I'm running out of clean clothes to wear to work. I only have to work Wednesday, Thursday this week, but still, it's still enough clothes. Oh yeah. Well, we're invited to Clem's sister's house for dinner on Sunday. Which I wish it wasn't on Sunday. I hate doing stuff. And so I don't know about my live on Sunday. I'm pretty sure she said it was for 1 o'clock. So I should make it back in time to do my live. But I wish it wasn't on Sunday. Like, why do people make you go for dinner on Sunday? Because I just feel like, ugh, I have to go to work the next day. Kind of ordeal. Aren't I weird? I just, like, me and Clem went to Niagara to go see Alyssa last Thursday. If I remember, I'll put the clips right here of our trip. So yeah, that was a little bit of Clifton Hill, and I tried to get a little bit of the falls while we were driving. I didn't want to stop because parking at the one place was $35, and then like Cheap parking is like super far away, so I'm like, forget it. Like, we'll come back another time because we really want to take a picture of us at the falls together, but it's just like, where do you park just to take this stupid picture? You know, and you don't want to pay a lot of money just to take a picture. Like, we could have parked somewhere on Clifton Hill and walked down, but it's still quite a hike. So, doesn't seem like it's much of a hike, but it is. And if you've ever been to Clifton Hill, I tell you, it's a struggle going up that hill when you're out of shape. So, I filmed a little bit of Clifton Hill and the falls. It was very misty, very wet by the Horseshoe Fall. The whole road gets wet. It wasn't raining. It was just, it's misty from the falls. And we went to Niagara, and we went on a Thursday, and then we had to go to work for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Clem's like, never again are we going to go the day before work. Like, if we're going to go, let's go our first day off and then, you know, have time to rest, because it sucked going all the way, driving all the way to Niagara, and then having to go to work for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we had a horrible weekend to boot, so it didn't make it any better for us that we did take that trip to Niagara, and then it was like hell for the rest of the weekend. And then my live, I was super tired. Because I had like the most exhausting weekend of my life at work. And why is this always full out? I'm getting the one next time that doesn't have this push thing. I've come to the conclusion, like, I don't mind it, but like I feel like sticking a magnet on it, but I feel like it would sit up if I did that. I love this tray though. I just wish I had gotten a lighter color. And, you know, next time I know, which I hope will be soon, I found something. Oh, I found something on Etsy that I am super excited to get. That is a Canadian seller. So I don't want to give it away because I don't want people to steal my ideas because I stole it from somebody else. I'm not going to lie. Someone else mentioned it, but they didn't mention the shop. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to flip and go look. And I did. And I found one. And I don't know if it's the same one she found, but I'm super excited. And I'm going to buy them on Thursday. So, look forward to seeing that mystery coming up. Nothing like a Canadian Etsy person, because, you know, shipping is so dear. It's even dear, like, shipping it within Canada. But sometimes it's more reasonable. Plus, you don't have to pay customs. Plus, you don't have to pay, well, not really customs, but, you know, the exchange rate. If it says $15, it's $15. You know what I mean? There's not very much gapping here, which is really cool. I'm saying this now until I get further along on the painting. Can Diamond Art Club impress me? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We's gonna find out. I don't know. This is just like the other painting I did of this artist. There's lots of flipping brown. Brown, brown, brown. He likes the browns. He likes the browns. But I was going to tell a story about my childhood, but I freaking drew a blank. You know, I say this like, oh, I want to talk about, you know, the way I grew up, but I don't remember too much. Other than my parents both immigrated from Portugal. They come from an island called Flirty, which is like meaning flower in English. And apparently the island used to be full of flowers, and it still like divides up, you know, property lines. It's really pretty. Anyways, well, that's where my parents were from. They lived there, but they also lived in San Miguel for 6 months before immigrating to Canada. So they had to go live in San Miguel, which is a bigger island, because that's probably where they had to fill out all their paperwork to come to Canada. So they did live there for 6 months before they came over to Canada. They came to Canada in the 60s. And we lived with my parents did. I wasn't born yet. They lived with one of my aunts, the one that just passed away recently. And our uncle from Vancouver is the one that sponsored my parents to come over. And my parents were originally going to go to Vancouver. Why they didn't, I do not know, but whatever. Like, Vancouver's way prettier than here. I don't know why they came here. But anyway, so my parents, my other aunts came to Ontario, to Strathroy. And my grandparents did as well on my dad's side, because my mom's grandparents were already dead, had already passed on before she came to Canada. And they said, oh, there's this little town called Strathroy that there's lots of tobacco work, like working in the fields, working tobacco, so you'll be able to find a job quickly here. So my parents agreed to come to Strathroy, which I wish they hadn't, but, you know, my mom could have worked at a hotel in Vancouver or did something like that. But they decided to come to Strathroy, and then my mom ended up finding a job working for Tender Tootsies, but it was Lullabies. It was actually not too far from our house, the house that I live in now, back in the day. But the building burnt down, and then they moved it to Mont Bridges. So then she worked in Mont Bridges for a lot of years with my sister Helen, and my brother Joe worked there as well. My dad worked at the beginning for Glendale, which was a trailer company, but then he moved on to work for Cuddy Farms, with a turkey farm, and there's lots of them around here. So my dad worked for Cuddy's for lots of years, and they settled into Strathroy, which I don't know why. So when my parents bought this house, they were renovating it, and my mom was in the hospital with me because my mom had me at later age in life. So she had complications, so she was like on bed rest at the hospital. So that's where we were, and the house was still being renovated. And she said she was on the phone once with Yvette, my sister. My sister was like, what, 6 years older than me or something, or 5 years older than me. I think she's going to turn 56 this year. So kind of like she's 6 years older than me. And she's like talking to my mom on the phone, crying because they were renovating and she needed to go to the bathroom. And my mom's like, go get the pail, go get the potty thing. Because you know how in the olden days you had that little white potty thing that, I don't know, we did. I don't know if anybody else did. I don't know if it was a Portuguese thing or what, but there was this white potty. And, oh yeah, because I remember they had to check my movements because I swallowed a penny. Yes, Liz swallowed a penny as a child. Don't ask me why I swallowed this penny, but I did. I swallowed a penny. My mom took me to the hospital. I remember seeing the penny in the x-ray. And he's like, well, she's just going to have to poop it out. So my grandpa, with this stupid little potty, would be checking my poop. Make sure that I poop the penny out. And sure enough, I did poop that penny out. I don't know whatever happened to the pennies, so we don't use pennies here in Ontario anymore. In Canada, actually, so there you go. So now you can just have like visions of where pennies and money have gone. So yeah, that was one crazy thing I did as a child. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, I swallowed the penny. My grandpa, I remember, I have very few like memories of my grandpa. My cousin Marlene seems to think she has more than me, because she said, like, I was the youngest out of all, you know, the cousins. And my grandparents took care of me while my mom was at work. So, you know, they all said I was my grandpa's favorite. And I used to be able to sit on his lap and watch television. And they all would have to bow to me, saying, "Hail to Queen Elizabeth," because my name was Elizabeth. Yeah, I don't remember any of this, but apparently she said it was a thing. I don't remember. I remember watching Sanford and Son with my grandpa all the time. I was my grandpa's favorite. I know that. Which is surprising because my mom wasn't his favorite. My grandparents didn't want my dad to marry my mom because my mom was poor. And my dad's family was more well off because they were farmers. And they didn't approve of my dad's marriage to my mom, but he married her anyway. And yeah, so I'm surprised I was his favorite. But I was. And we weren't that close. After my dad passed away, like, my aunt lived next door to us, so we're pretty close to her. But with the other family, like, we didn't really go to family functions or anything like that, because my mom didn't like to go. She didn't like the gossip. She didn't like to hear stuff, you know. She was always worried about our reputations because we're Portuguese, you know, and you had to live standards. And I was divorced, and back then, like, there wasn't very many divorces, and I was frowned upon because I had a divorce. But, you know, it's better to live with your abusive husband than to get a divorce. Like, I don't get it. But whatever. Now it's a dime a dozen. Everybody gets divorced, right? So it doesn't really matter anymore. And I would say to my mom all the time, it's like, I don't care what these Portuguese people think of me. Like, I'm going to live my life because I want to live it. I'm not going to live my life to please them and be miserable. Now that's just silly. So my mom always worried about what other people thought of us. And, like, I didn't care what other people thought of us, you know? And I think that's why my cousin Marlene you know, didn't come out to her parents and, you know, waited for her parents to pass away before she had her beautiful daughter and got married to her partner, Paula. You know, because it wasn't... I think they would have been okay with it, but I don't know. But, you know, they were probably like my mom, worried about what other people would say. And you know what? In this generation now, nobody cares. You know, as long as you're happy, who cares? But back in the day when I was growing up, it was a big thing. You know, it's not now. But it's really hard for older generation to like accept the world has changed. Like my mom, oh, in Portugal, girls wouldn't do this. They wouldn't go out and do this. And I'm like, Mom, how long ago were you away from Portugal? You don't know what the girls do in Portugal now. They're probably just as bad as we are here. Like, you don't know what they're doing in Portugal because you haven't been there in years. You know what I mean? Like, it would frustrate me to the point where, Mom, you know, it's not 1950 anymore, or, you know, it's not before you came to Canada. It's different now. You know, Portugal has modernized just as much as we have, you know. And that's where they didn't get it. They just didn't get it. You know. I'm not saying everybody, because there's a lot of Portuguese parents that did get it, did accept it, but not a lot of them. You know, my mom was old school, and there was no changing her about being old school. And it was just that. My mom was quite a character. My mom was the discipliner of the family, and she was also the person that controlled all the money, did all the financing and everything, and my dad had no clue. My dad had no clue or no concept of any of that, because my mom did it all. My father never went to school, so he never got an education. My mom had to teach him how to sign his name so he could come to Canada, because he didn't even know how to do that. My dad's signature was the most atrocious thing you ever did see. And like, he had no concept of the grocery store either, like, until he stopped working and he had to go to the store for my mom. And there was 2 years that my dad did sober up. He did go clean the year that I was married. So 2 years. Alyssa wasn't even born yet. Sarah, when Sarah was younger, then that's when he started up and drinking again. Like maybe when she was 1 year old or something. And then that pretty much killed him going back. You know, it's hard when the doctor tells you. I was pregnant with Tyler, and the doctor comes in, says, your dad's killing himself, I'm not being his doctor anymore, and he walks out. Like, and I'm like 7 months pregnant, crying, carrying on, and I'm like, Dad, like, don't you care? Don't you want to see my kids grow up? Like, you need to quit drinking. Like, the doctor says you're killing yourself. I didn't know how bad it was, but apparently it was bad, because he didn't last 3 months after that. And my dad would be like, oh, he's dumb, he doesn't know what he's talking about, Liz, I'm fine, blah, 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 blah. And then when he was in the hospital, he says to me, oh, this is the last time. I'm going to quit for sure this time. But it was too late. It was too late. He couldn't. The damage was already done. And, you know, it was sad because, you know, he was only 69 when he went. You know, he didn't get to enjoy retirement to the fullest. He didn't get to go back again to Portugal, to the island that he was born and raised in, you know. Why did I take... Oh, okay, here. I'm getting sidetracked. I've been talking way too much. I feel like I talked my ears off. But that's a little bit about my childhood. I'll figure out some more to talk about after. So you guys all know. My secret, I swallowed the penny. I must have been about 5 or 6 when I swallowed this penny. Because I remember it. And I don't remember too much. I remember a little bit from our trip to Portugal. And maybe I'll talk about that after. There's this goat. And I did not like the goat. I don't know if I ever told this story before. Let me know down in the comments below if I have. But I don't think I've told you the story about the goat. So, till next time, take care everyone. Bye!
Well, folks, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like, please subscribe to my channel. I'd be super tickle pink. And remember to hit that notification bell and it will remind you whenever I load up a video. And till next time, take care everyone. Bye!